Hi there, it's Wednesday, it's day 3 of week 14 of 52 weeks of vlogging. I'm going to respond to Hank Green's video on his Vlogbrothers channel that he put up last Friday about sexuality and sexual orientation. And I want to talk specifically about one of the things that was said about emotional connection and emotional love versus physical attraction, because there was not really a consensus there, and I just wanted to put out my own 2 cents based on my own experience of those two things, which is that they're not really the same thing. For me anyway, they're not the same thing. I think this is different for everybody. I think some people only feel an emotional falling in love kind of connection with people that they are also physically attracted to and want to have sex with, and other people sometimes are physically attracted to people who they have that connection with, and also physically attracted to people who they don't have that connection with, and the connection isn't necessary for the physical attraction, and the emotional connection sometimes happens without the physical attraction. Physical attraction isn't necessary for the emotional connection. When I was in college, there was this thing my friends and I used to say all the time, usually about a professor, but sometimes also about the author of some worthy, incredibly deep and moving text. And that was, oh my God, that person is so brilliant, I want their babies. And this didn't actually mean that we wanted to literally have sex with that person and make babies, nor did it mean that we wanted to create a life with that person, that we envisioned that this was a person that we wanted to build a family and build a future with. What we meant when we said that was that we felt an intellectual and to a certain extent emotional connection there. This was someone whose mind we were falling in love with, but only their mind. But for all the emotional connection and falling in love with their minds that was happening, basically we really just viewed that person as someone who we would stick at the top of our sperm or egg donor list. I personally have met people whom I've forged a really deep emotional connection with, who I have almost fallen in love with at a mental level, but who, when I thought about it, I had no interest in pursuing a physical relationship with at all. And I think this kind of falling in love without physical attraction thing happens all the time. It happens between any two people who have a deep emotional, long-term friendship type connection. And while I do think that kind of connection is necessary for a good, solid, long-term sexual relationship in terms of a partnership or any kind of building a life together or having a future together, I also think that it can exist on its own. And meanwhile, our experience of our own sexuality isn't necessarily connected to the people who we forge deep emotional connections with. I'm starting to get off topic here, and yes, this requires many more videos, I think, on sexuality and on emotional connections versus physical attraction. Sometimes related, essentially related, I think, if you're looking at any type of long-term relationship. But in the short term, not always related. Not always have to be related, for sure. I think it's always better when they are, but sometimes that's not the way it goes, and that's okay. So thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.